so just a bit of a quick one. The MEAD on Mass. I have just noticed, well, I noticed the other day that we've still got some positive movement in the airlocks. Like this one, it's ready to start bubbling again. Now, I've double checked, I've looked really closely, and there is minute bubbles. I've checked the gravity of every single one. Some of them have gone beyond where they were. So they were at 1.020, and some of them have gone, one's gone down to like 18, and one's gone down to, I think, was 16, which means it's continued to ferment even though it's got the stoppers in, which is a little bit worrying considering it should have stopped. Now, if I was going to be already putting this into a bottle, the problem that I would have then would be that the carbonation or the pressure would then be in the bottle. Now, these bottles that I use, just excuse it, it's got a load of flipping malt dust off it from when I milled the grain. These are not for pressured. They cannot be pressurized. They will crack, they will blow up, they will pop, and they will make a load of glass bombs, which isn't what you flipping want. The smaller bottles, which are the beer bottles, these, the glass is thicker. You know, it's a lot thicker, it's more robust, it's designed for taking pressure. So I was in a bit of a what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Now, I've seen small bubbles in all of them. Now, that could just be off-gassing, where the carbon dioxide's like just kind of releasing and it's just disappearing out of the beverage. It's got, oh no, it's going to be about the 23rd or 24th, I think. So it's got another couple more days before we were going to be looking at this, but I thought I'd get ahead of the curve. So, pardon me, I have just tested all of these as well, and I'll talk about that in a second. Pardon me. So yeah, we seem to have a problem with them carrying on to ferment. Now, whether that's because of the ingredients that were put in it were harbouring some sort of yeast. 3 of them were okay. 3 of them were at the 20 point that they were supposed to be at. 2 of them continued to ferment. You see, that one just bubbled then. And I'm like, So what I'm going to do is, out of, what's the word? Well, I'm just going to narrow down any possibility, basically. I'm going to add the fermentation stoppers again, which is potassium sorbate, to all of these, and maybe leave them an extra week. Oh, the snow's melting. Yeah, we had snow overnight here in Nottingham. So yeah, everywhere's just thawing out now, starting to melt. That's what that was. A bit dropping down off the roof. Tripped me out. Anywho, back to the bloody programme. So yeah, we're going to add just some stoppers to these again. Potassium sorbate, half a teaspoon per thing. So basically, I'm wondering whether, when we did it on mass, whether some was a little bit more in one and a little bit less in another, even though we mixed really well. That's the only thing that I could think of. And I forgot to turn my light on, so you're gonna have to deal with a doom and gloom here and a brightness out there. You probably can't even see the snow, it's that flipping bright out there now. So periodically I'm gonna take one off. Oops. I'm gonna drop the airlock, of course. Why wouldn't you? And I'm just going to add 1 scoop or half a scoop of the potassium sorbate, and then we're going to mix that in. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to all of them. No, I'm going to add it to them and then mix it in at the same time, because what I need to do each time is re-sterilise this. So this one is the Rainbow Tea Mix, which out of all of them is my favourite. We are going to be mixing back up any lees or anything like that, you know, that's laying down at the bottom. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that the stoppers are thoroughly mixed in and doing their job. So we're going to replace the lid on that one, and I'm going to go sterilize this. Now, I'm not waiting 10 minutes that you're supposed to, simply because I've learned from experience that you can sort of get away with it. If you are one of those that doesn't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do it by the book, you do it by the book. Now, also, we may be coming across this problem because I don't wait 24 hours after adding the stoppers to add extra honey and any flavours. Now, I've never had an issue with it before, and the only reason why I realised this is because of this type of airlock that I'm using here on this one. It's just a little bit different, and it shows you the pressure, positive pressure, a lot more. I only used that one because I'd ran out and I didn't have any more. So we're going to continue this with the other 4. I won't bore you with the video of it. I'll speed it up though, because it's something that, you know, I want you to see. But yeah, we're just going to skip through this nice and fast. Okay, so that is now all of them with extra fermentation stoppers in. Now let's talk about the flavours of these meads. So we've got my favourite currently, which is the rainbow tea mix, which I use for brewing beer with. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it in a mead, and it's really is special. I tried to clone my favourite beer of all time, which is called Rainbow Tea. I know I've said it before if you've watched my videos, but it's called Rainbow Tea, and it's by a brewery called Shiny Brewery over in Little Eaton, which is not that far away from me. And the beer is amazing. It's so packed with floral flavours, it's just unbelievable. And I found, just so happened to find, a bag of the mix, or sort of the mix that they've used. It might not be the exact one, but it's pretty much on par with the flavour, and I managed to make a very close comparison to Rainbow Tea. So what this has got in is, it's an Earl Grey rainbow flavoured Earl Grey Bergamot with the addition of cornflower, sunflower, saffron and rose petals. So that's the petals of loads of flowers, saffron, and obviously it's an Earl Grey tea. So it gives it a sort of a tannic taste, but the thing is we didn't boil the tea, it's gone in cold. Normally I would have whacked it in heated, so it'll be interesting to see what it does when we do it again, which I do plan to do with it heated, actually make up some tea for it. Now, moving on to the saffron. Now, out of all of these, this is going to be the most expensive one to brew. And I don't dislike it, but when you initially put it into your mouth, it's like, oh, that's nice. And it almost reminisces a little bit of like aniseed or something like that, I'm not sure. But then comes this really earthy flavour that I'm not sure about, I'm not sure I like. But all in all, it's okay. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not drinking that. Third, we'll move on to the mango and coconut. Now that really works quite well. The coconut's toasted, which kind of offsets the sweetness of the mango. It's an odd combination, but it works. It's kind of like a pina colada, but without the rum. And mango instead of pineapple, because I'm sure pineapple's in a pina colada. I don't know. Moving on to the one that had the chili honey put in. You can't really taste any chili, you get a little bit of a tingling at the back of your throat. Nah, wouldn't bother doing that. It's probably best to be eating with your food and putting on toast and stuff like that. That was Hilltop's chili honey. I use their honey for my fermenting, and if needs be, if I've got some posh honey, then I'll back sweeten with some posh honey, which brings me to some honey that a friend of mine brought for me while he was dropping off a sample of his first mead, following my recipes and guidance, and it was absolutely banging. It really was. It was made up. It was so chuffed. It was really, really good. And yeah, this is from Hucknall, which is literally like, as the crow flies, probably, I don't know, 8 miles, maybe not even that. So it's really local honey by 2 people, and yeah, that was about 6 or 7 quid. So I'm going to be back sweetening with one of them with a local honey. And now, coming to the coffee one, which I had really, really big high hopes for, I was very disappointed. It doesn't seem to have done very well with the temperature that it's at. Whether it's the type of coffee, whether it's something in the coffee like a preservative or something like that while it's in the pods that were used, I'm not sure, but that's going to be the one that's left over in the cupboard, and all the other ones are going to get drank first. It's not disgusting, it's not unpleasant, it's just, it's maybe got an off flavour to it. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see when it's wrapped and then it's bottled and it's been sat for a month with just itself to deal with. That was my stomach gurgling. I'm hungry. So yeah, there we are. A quick random video I wasn't expecting to do, but you see straight away we've got positive pressure. It's come from there where it was positive down to there, and it's pushed all this water level up to there, so something's definitely going on. But that's what we've added now, the potassium sorbate, that should stop that. And we'll just keep an eye on it, I suppose. It's like I said, it's got another 4 days, I think. Just double check. Where are we? I think it's on the 22nd that these are supposed to be bottled, but I'm going to leave it a week from now because we have disturbed all of the lease and the stuff that had settled out of it, so these are going to have another week, and we'll be back to show you the bottling of it, and hopefully they would have stopped fermenting, or the ones that were fermenting had stopped fermenting. It was just precautionary. It probably wasn't necessary. I probably overdid it and panicked a bit, but I don't want exploding bottles. It's as simple as that. I just don't want exploding bottles. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Take it easy.